took to Twitter and I said, guys, ask me some questions. And a couple of people responded. So I'm going to answer your questions. So, my name is Chelsea, I'm 22 years old, I'm living in East Sussex, and I've decided, screw it, let's make some YouTube videos because why not? So, my first question that I have is from Excited Cupcake, who's actually one of my very good friends who I've been friends with online for about 10 years, but never actually met her. So, her question is, how can you afford all your tattoos? I can't. That is the answer to my question. I cannot afford my tattoos. I used to get quite a few back when I was living with my mum and I didn't have rent to pay. Miss those days. But unfortunately, that's not how it is anymore. That's why I've only got 10 at the moment, where I'd like to have about 50 at the moment. But my wallet won't let that happen. My most recent one that I got done, my friend Ruby actually paid for it, and thank you, darling, I really appreciate it. Which is my Shane Dawson one, I'll Go Home. We'll get into that one later. She's got another question for me. So, second question is, what is your favourite meal? I guess I'd have to say anything that my mum cooks, to be honest. I like food all over, but if I had to choose something specifically that I could probably eat forever, would be chicken wings. Because you can cook them in so many different ways. You could have them hot, you can have them barbecued, you could have them honey roasted, you could do everything to them, they're so good. Another question from Excited Cupcake. So, would you prefer an exotic wedding or a wedding where you live? I'd like an exotic wedding, but as we spoke about my wallet earlier, I would not be able to afford one. But if we're talking hypothetically, I'd love to do an exotic one, only because here in England, the weather is not great and it doesn't make up its mind. So I wouldn't want to end up getting stuck with a wet wedding. And last question from Excited Cupcake is, would my boyfriend be allowed to visit me when I go to meet you? Yes, of course. There is room for both of you. Currently in my spare room. If you come over soon, there is a double bed here for you. You're welcome to stay for as many days as you want. Did you see that little... Oh wow, can we just get a little... Oh, that's definitely my insecurities right there on YouTube. Antonia would like to know, how many piercings and tattoos do you have and were they sore? I've had about 59 piercings. Some of them have been re-pierced, some of them I've re-pierced. Some of them I've taken out for jobs, or just because I didn't want them anymore, or because my body decided to reject them, because it loves to do that to my piercings, especially the most expensive ones. I have 10 tattoos as well, which actually might be a video to do about each of my tattoos. If you would like to see that, about all of my tattoos explained, then let me know and I can do a video about that, because I have a lot of explanation about all of my tattoos. Got a question from Shane Dawson is Queen, and yes, that is true. Question is, how long have you watched Shane? I have watched Shane since 2008, so about 10 years. I actually found the other day that I had some Ustream links on the top of my Google from 2009 of Shane, but unfortunately the links don't work anymore, which is very upsetting. But yeah, so 10 years. So guys, I've got another question. This is from Cassidy. Her question is, do you remember the first Shane Dawson video you ever watched and what got you into his fandom? So, I'm not sure if this is the first ever Shane video that I watched, but one of the first ones that I remember watching was the interview. And I just remember me laying in bed watching this at like 3 o'clock in the morning because I was being homeschooled at the time. And I remember Shane knocking at a door and looking extremely gay and depressed. And I remember that was the interview. And that's the first one that I remember watching. And what got me into it? Well, I was going through a lot at that time. As I said, I was being homeschooled and it was a very difficult time for me. I didn't actually get to develop my social skills the way I should have, like other people my age. So turning to Shane's videos was actually a little bit of freedom for me from everything that was going on in my life, and he made me feel happy and just gave me an escape. And I think that every time I go through something bad, I go straight back to Shane's videos and they always get me through it, and that's why I absolutely love Shane's videos and everything that he does. She also has another question for me, which is, which conspiracy do I find the most interesting, and is there any theories that I believe are true? I find pretty much every conspiracy video very interesting. I do research them in my own time quite often, probably more than I should do. At work I tend to either listen to scary stories or conspiracy theories because I do housekeeping, so I get to listen to stuff, it's fun. But yeah, so I find a lot of them very interesting, and I think one of the ones that I strongly 100% believe, no doubt about it, is 9/11. There's not even a question about it. It's so blatantly obvious that it was government. Let's you know, come on, let's just be real. But to be honest, most of them I do believe, as long as there's enough evidence for them. Just want to say a huge thank you guys for watching the video, and if you liked it, please do click the like button, do subscribe if you want to see more, and please drop down any video suggestions that you'd like to see. Hopefully in my intro you saw some of the things I'm into: motorbikes, animals, going out adventuring. So if there's anything that you'd like to see about that stuff, just let me know. And have a good day!